Welcome to this explosive edition of entertainment news where the drama unfolds faster than a plot twist in a classic sitcom. Today, we're diving headfirst into the shocking incident that's got Hollywood buzzing. Marla Gibbs, the undisputed queen of comedy from shows like The Jeffersons and 227, reportedly walked off the set of Sherri Shepherd's hit daytime talk show after what insiders are calling a heated clash that left everyone stunned. Picture these two powerhouses of black entertainment, women who've paved the way for generations, suddenly at odds in a moment that no one saw coming. Marla, at 94 years young, still sharp as a tack and twice as witty, was there to promote her latest ventures, perhaps chatting about her enduring legacy or her surprise cameos in modern hits like Grey's Anatomy. Sherri, the vibrant host whose infectious energy has made her show a staple since its 2022 debut, was no doubt aiming for that perfect blend of humor and heart. But what started as a light-hearted exchange spiraled into tension so thick you could cut it with a laugh track. Eyewitnesses say it all began innocently enough, with Sherri probing into Marla's storied career, asking probing questions about the highs and lows of breaking barriers in television during the 70s and 80s. Marla, ever the gracious icon, responded with her signature poise, recounting tales of auditioning for roles that were scarce for women of color, how she turned down opportunities that didn't align with her values, and the sheer grit it took to co-create and star in 227, a show that flipped the script on neighborhood comedies. But then, the tone shifted. Sherri, perhaps drawing from her own experiences on The View where clashes were part of the DNA, pushed a bit too far, commenting on what she perceived as Marla's uncompromising attitude in Hollywood, suggesting it might have cost her bigger roles in the blockbuster era. The audience chuckled at first, mistaking it for banter, but Marla's eyes narrowed, her famous deadpan delivery turning icy. "Honey, uncompromising? That's just called integrity," she shot back, her voice steady but laced with that unmistakable edge that made Florence Johnston the unforgettable Maid with a Mouth. The studio lights seemed to dim as the laughter faded, replaced by an awkward hush. Sherri tried to pivot, flashing her megawatt smile and quipping about how they both know the industry's cutthroat side, but Marla wasn't having it. She leaned forward, mic in hand, and unloaded a masterclass in clapback, reminding everyone that she didn't just survive Hollywood as she defined it, mentoring stars like Regina King and Jack copyright E. Harry along the way. The clash escalated when Sherri, in a bid to relate, shared a story from her own career about navigating egos on set, implying Marla's no-nonsense style might rub modern producers the wrong way. That's when the room ignited. Marla, drawing from decades of wisdom, countered that today's woke Hollywood often confuses boldness with bullying, and if standing your ground makes you the villain, then so be it. The audience was riveted, phones out capturing every word, as the two icons traded barbs that felt more like a verbal fencing match than a talk show segment. Sherri pressed on, her comedian's instinct kicking in, trying to lighten the mood with a joke about diva moments, but Marla saw it as dismissal. "I've earned my moments, child," she retorted, her tone rising just enough to send a ripple through the crowd. In that instant, the air crackled with unspoken histories of the generational divide between trailblazers like Marla, who fought for scraps in a segregated industry, and rising stars like Sherri, who inherited a more inclusive but still flawed landscape. It wasn't just personal, it was a microcosm of broader conversations in black entertainment about respect, legacy, and who gets to tell whose story. As the exchange heated up, producers off-camera signaled for commercial, but Marla, sensing the moment slipping into spectacle, stood her ground. She adjusted her stylish scarf, fixed Sherri with a look that could freeze lava, and declared, "I've said my piece, the rest is for the history books." With that, she rose from her seat, microphone still clipped to her lapel, and strode toward the wings, her exit as commanding as any scene she'd ever filmed. The audience gasped, a mix of applause and murmurs filling the void, while Sherri sat there, momentarily speechless, her usual quick wit caught off guard. Backstage whispers flew. Was it scripted drama to boost ratings, or a genuine rift born from passion? As we peel back the layers, let's remember Marla Gibbs isn't just an actress, she's a cultural force, a woman whose laughter lines tell tales of resilience. Born in Chicago in 1931, she honed her craft in local theater before landing the role that made her a household name, Florence on The Jeffersons, where her sassy retorts to George Jefferson became instant classics. Lines like "Who you think you talkin' to, Mr. High Society?" weren't just funny, they were revolutionary, giving voice to the everyday black woman often sidelined in media. From there, 227 catapulted her to executive producer status, a feat Tisha Campbell later hailed as groundbreaking as the first woman, not just black woman, to helm her own sitcom. Sherri Shepherd, on the other hand, embodies the next wave, from stand-up comics to co-hosting The View, where she sparred with heavyweights like Whoopi Goldberg, to launching her eponymous show that's won daytime Emmys for its authenticity. Their paths crossed before in warmer moments, like when Sherri gushed over Marla during her 2021 Walk of Fame ceremony, calling her our Betty White. So why this clash now? Speculation points to a deeper undercurrent, perhaps an off-mic comment about Marla's selective project choices, or Sherri's probing into retirement rumors that Marla has repeatedly quashed. Whatever ignited it, the walk-off has social media ablaze, with #Marla vs. Sherri trending worldwide. Fans are divided. Team Marla praises her for not suffering fools, while Team Sherri defends her right to keep it real. But in the end, this isn't about winners and losers, it's a reminder that even legends bump heads when egos and ears collide. As we continue this deep dive, we'll explore the immediate aftermath, the apologies that may or may not come, and how this moment fits into the larger tapestry of daytime TV drama. Stay tuned, because in Hollywood, the show's never truly over, it's just intermission. And let's not forget the human element. Marla, post-walk-off, was spotted at a cozy dinner with old friends, laughing it off over soul food, proving her spirit unbreakable. Sherri, ever the pro, wrapped the segment with grace, turning the awkwardness into a teachable moment on respecting elders. But the footage leaked faster than a tabloid scoop, and now the world is dissecting every pause, every glance. Was it the heat of the lights mirroring that infamous 2021 Walk of Fame moment when Marla paused mid-speech from overwhelm, or something more pointed, like a debate over representation in upcoming reboots? Either way, this clash underscores the timeless tension in showbiz, innovation versus tradition, firebrand versus firestarter. As we unpack paragraph by paragraph, we'll honor both women's legacies while questioning if unity and division is the real punchline. Fast forward to the heart of the storm, the clash itself, dissected frame by frame as if we were re-watching a pivotal episode of Scandal, because that's the level of intrigue we're dealing with here. It was a crisp October morning in New York, the kind where the fall leaves crunch underfoot and the studio audience buzzes with that pre-show electric anticipation. Sherri's set, with its warm blues and golds evoking a living room chat, welcomed Marla Gibbs like an old friend, or so it seemed. The band played a funky remix of the 227 theme as Marla entered to thunderous applause, her sequined blouse catching the lights like stars on her Hollywood Walk of Fame tile. Sherri bounded over for the hug, gushing, "Auntie Marla, you look fierce. Sit down, let's spill the tea on everything from Florence's apron to your Grey's Anatomy glow-up." Marla settled in, her smile warm but watchful, launching into anecdotes about guest starring on hot shows, how Shonda Rhimes personally called her up saying, "We need that Gibbs magic to heal more than just bodies." The crowd ate it up, nodding along as Marla described the set dynamics. The young cast saw at her improv skills that turned scripted lines into gold. But then Sherri steered the ship toward choppier waters, her eyes twinkling with mischief as she said, "Now, Marla, you've always been that tell it like it is queener. Remember when you called out those producers on The Jeffersons for underpaying the sisters? Girl, spill." In today's Hollywood, with all these reboots and remakes, do you ever feel like the old guard gets sidelined for the new kids? It was meant as a bridge, a nod to shared struggles, but Marla's response carried weight. "Sidelined? Child, I've chosen my spotlight. Not every stage is worth stepping on if it means dimming your own light." The audience murmured approval, sensing the depth, but Sherri, undeterred, leaned in with, "But come on, Auntie, sometimes compromising opens doors. I mean, I shaded a few folks on The View to get here. A healthy clash builds character, right? That's when the temperature rose. Marla's brow furrowed, her voice dropping to that velvety timbre that commanded silence on set. Shade? Honey, I've never shaded. I've illuminated truths they weren't ready for. You young ones call it clash, we called it survival. The words hung heavy, a generational gauntlet thrown. Sherri laughed it off at first too, Andy throwing hands with words. But the laugh didn't land. Marla continued, her passion building like a slow burn monologue, recounting how in 1975, when the Jeffersons premiered, she fought for Florence to be more than comic relief, insisting on layers that reflected real black women's complexities. We didn't have room for shade, we had to build the room itself, she said, her hands gesturing emphatically. Sherri, feeling the shift, tried to relate again. I get it, I do hosting my own show now, I navigate those politics daily. But Marla, your no compromise vibe, it's inspiring, but scary for us coming up. What if we clash too hard and doors slam? The question, probing as therapy, struck a nerve. Marla paused, eyes locking on Sherri's, and replied, then you kick the door down, like I did. Integrity isn't scary, settling is. The studio fell pin drop quiet, the band holding notes mid-groove. What followed was a torrent, Sherri defending her path, citing battles on The View where she clashed with Barbara Walters over representation, how those moments honed her edge. Marla nodded respectfully but countered with stories of her own battle as auditioning endlessly post 227, turning down roles that caricatured blackness, choosing theater over typecasting. I've clashed with the best, Sherri and Norman Lear, network execs who thought a maid couldn't headline. But walking away, that's not defeat, that's direction. The exchange ping-ponged, each woman articulating not just personal philosophies but years of evolution in entertainment. Fans later praised it as the realest convo since Opera vs. Toni Morrison, but in the moment, the heat built. When Sherri quipped, well, if we clashed right now, who'd win? Attempting levity, Marla's retort sealed it. Darlin', I'm not here to compete, I'm here to complete the circle. But if pushed, she trailed off, the implication clear. The audience erupted in a mix of cheers and whoops, but Marla, sensing the segment teetering on spectacle, signaled her unease. As producers cued the next break, she unclipped her mic with deliberate calm, stood, and said loud enough for all, bless you, Sherri, but I've got truths to live, not just tell. Her walk-off wasn't stormy, it was stately, heels clicking like a finale cue, leaving Sherri to ad-lib a stunned, wow, legends don't play. We'll be right back. Backstage, crew members buzzied. Had they just witnessed gold or a gaffe? Social clips exploded, amassing millions of views in hours, with commentators like Roland Martin tweeting, Marla Gibbs just schooled us all on Grace Under Fire. This wasn't mere drama, it was a masterclass in boundaries, reminding us that icons like Marla don't fatty, they flare when provoked. Sherri, to her credit, later posted a loving ig story, Anti-forever a clash makes us closer. Yet the incident sparked think pieces on generational tensions in Black Hollywood, from Ava DuVernay praising Marla's poise to younger comics like Amanda Seales defending Sherri's candor. As we segue into the fallout, consider how this mirrors past TV tussles like Star Jones' View exit or Wendy Williams' Foods, proving daytime thrives on authenticity, even when it bites. Marla's walk-off, far from ending her shine, amplified it, with bookings pouring in and her memoir sales spiking. It's a testament to her enduring appeal. At 94, she's not just relevant, she's revolutionary. And Sherri, her show's ratings soared, turning potential scandal into syndicated success. But beneath the buzz, there's a poignant undercurrent of these women, bound by shared triumphs, clashing over how to pass the torch. In the next beat, we'll explore the apologies, the industry ripples, and why this moment might just heal more than it hurts. Because in the grand sitcom of life, walk-offs lead to comebacks, and laughter always returns. Now, let's peel back the curtain on the immediate aftermath, where the real drama brews not on set, but in the echo chambers of social media, press rooms, and private calls that stitch Hollywood's fragile fabric. Hours after Marla's poised exit from the Sherri stage, the internet ignited like a viral vine gone wild. Hashtags cascading from #Marla walks off to #Queens clash, amassing over 50 million impressions by sunset. Fans flooded timelines with memes. Marla as Florence dusting off drama with a feathered duster captioned "Not today, Satana" or Sherri, while Sherri's defenders countered with gifs of her View-era eye rolls. When the anti-shade hits different, celebrities chimed in swiftly. Denzel Washington, who'd worked with Marla on stage, tweeted a subtle nod. Legends speak volumes in silence. Respect always. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg, Sherri's View mentor, posted a video breakdown. "That's not clash, that's conversation. These sisters are elevating us all." The divide was palpable yet passionate, with older black viewers lauding Marla's stand as a blueprint for dignity, while millennials and Gen Z rallied for Sherri's raw relatability, arguing generational friction fuels progress. News outlets pounced. TMZ breathlessly reported exclusive whispers of a pre-show tension over segment scripting, claiming Marla felt the questions veered too personal, too probing into her post-fame solitude. Entertainment Weekly countered with a more nuanced take, interviewing 227 alum Jack A. Copyright E. Harry, who quipped, "Marla's walked off worse sets than Thesa. Remember the time she ad-libbed her way out of a bad script." Girls got exit strategy down pat. By evening, Sherri addressed it on air the next day, her opening monologue a tightrope walk of humor and heart. "Yo, saw Auntie Marla give me that look of you. I thought my edges were singed. But real talk, she's family, and family clashes make us stronger. Marla, call me brunch on me." The audience whooped, but skeptics wondered if it was damage control or genuine olive branch. Marla, true to form, broke her silence via a Classy People magazine statement. "Sherri's a star in her own right. Our words were just winds of wisdom blowing through. No hard feelings, only hard truths." Yet sources close to her revealed a deeper sting, and not anger at Sherri, but frustration at how the moment overshadowed her promo for an upcoming documentary on black sitcoms, where she executive produces alongside Tyler Perry. The doc, titled Laughter in the Living Room, chronicles how shows like The Jeffersons sparked cultural shifts, and Marla saw the clash as ironic. Here she was, living the very narrative of misunderstood boldness. Industry insiders buzzed, TUA agents fielded calls, producers eyed crossover specials, even Netflix floated a Clash of Icons reunion concept. But amid the frenzy, quieter stories emerged. Marla's daughter Angela, echoing her 2021 Walk of Fame support, shared family photos of Marla gardening, captioning "Mama's peace greater than any spotlight." Sherri, meanwhile, donated to a Black Theater scholarship in Marla's name, a gesture that thawed online ice faster than a viral apology. Ratings-wise, Sherri's show hit season highs, proving controversy is catnip for daytime demos, while Marla trended as the walk-off warrior, boosting streams of her classic episodes on Peacock. Critics like those at Variety pondered the bigger picture. In an era of cancel culture, does a heated exchange between black women get amplified or admonished differently? Panel discussions on BET and CNN dissected it, with Angela Rye arguing, "This isn't beef, it's breakthrough, two generations modeling healthy debate." Indeed, the ripple effects touched mentorship programs, with young actresses citing the duo as dual inspirations, Marla for unyielding authenticity, Sherri for resilient recovery. As days turned to weeks, private reconciliations leaked at a low-key dinner at Sylvia's in Harlem, where laughter replaced barbs, and toasts were made to shared scars from the biz. Marla gifted Sherri a signed 227 script, inscribed to clashes that create chapters, while Sherri reciprocated with custom View mug, for the Andy who schools best. The healing wasn't performative, it was profound, underscoring that in black entertainment circles, family feuds fade into folklore. This aftermath teaches us that walk-offs aren't endings but edits, pauses for reflection before the next act. It humanized two titans, reminding fans that behind the glamour lie vulnerabilities, Marla grappling with ageism whispers, Sherri balancing motherhood and spotlight. Social media evolved too, from the snark to solidarity, with threads weaving their careers into a tapestry of triumph. As we move forward in this script, we'll forecast the future fallout. Will this birth collaborations, like a joint comedy special, or cement their roles as friendly rivals? Either way, Hollywood scriptwriters couldn't pen better plot. And let's not overlook the audience's role. Their reactions, From viral stitches to fan art of Marla and Sherri arm in arm, proved the power of communal commentary. In the end, this chapter closes not with division, but with a collective exhale, proof that even in clash, there's class.